Hello, friends. Thanks for joining. Today, I want to talk about judgment. Perhaps you've noticed we live in a world that is filled with judgment. Maybe you yourself are a judgmental person, where it's easier for you to find the faults in somebody instead of their gifts or their talents. Maybe it's easier for you to put somebody down than it is to build them up. Or maybe it's easier to define everything about them based on one instance of their life instead of looking at the totality of their life. When we judge, we oftentimes make a standard where we put ourselves above others. And I want to bring this to our attention today because in Matthew chapter 7, Jesus says this, "Do not judge, or you too will be judged. In the same way that you judge others, you will be judged. And by the same measure you use, that measure will be used against you." I want to pause for a minute because this is something that's come up a lot. This verse has been used, especially by new Christians or even some progressive thought to say, wait a second, we shouldn't judge anyone. Everybody's lifestyle is okay. Everything that we're doing is okay. Later on in that same chapter, in chapter 7, Jesus says, you will judge them by their fruit. Paul says, do not judge those outside of the church, but rather judge those inside. So what does Jesus mean when he says, do not judge or you too will be judged? And in the same way that you judge others, you're going to be judged. What is he saying here? To me, what I hear is, hey, wait a second. Please don't put somebody else to a standard that you yourself can't live to. That's why he was rebuking the Pharisees all the time. I believe Jesus is saying, make sure that when you look upon somebody, that you're not looking down at them, or you're not fault finding, or you're not trying to tear them down, or you're not trying to hurt them, or you're not living to the very same standards that you're critiquing somebody else to. I think Jesus is saying, watch out, guys, be careful here, because if we judge too harshly, we too will be judged too harshly. In the ancient Hebrew world, rabbis would have known this to mean one of two things. We either judge with justice or we judge with mercy. And Jesus is saying, whichever one you choose, it will be chosen for you. So if you choose to judge everybody with this, it needs to be just, awesome, go for it. God's going to judge you that way. But if you tend to give mercy to others and look upon them with extra forgiveness or extra love or extra grace, God will do the same to you. That's why Jesus goes on to say, hey, stop looking at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pull the log out of your own. He's saying that we're hypocritical when we judge others too harshly and we don't live up to those standards ourselves. James says it this way, mercy triumphs judgment. In Micah chapter 6, verse 8, we see, what does God desire of us? He desires that we act justly, that we love mercy, and that we walk humbly with him. Today, I bless us all in seeing that we have the ability to judge with either justice, where everybody has to do the right thing, or mercy, where, okay, we're going to make mistakes, let's keep moving on. I bless you in being one that judges with mercy. James says mercy triumphs over judgment. I ask that you put that into your own life. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, do not judge others too harshly, or yourself.